Greetings, greetings, greetings to all of my loved ones. Welcome back to another episode of Healing Wisdom with me, your favorite spiritual advisor, Empress Oracle. I hope everybody is doing very, very well today. So, on behalf of Starseed Galactic Federation, I have been given access to this knowledgeable information from my Akashic records for the purpose of helping humanity. This information was given to me as a divine channel, and any use and or reproduction of this information without the proper acknowledgement or accreditation from where it came from will result in instant karma for the plagiarizing parties and or individuals. And so it is. Now that we have that out the way, let's go ahead and talk about it today. Today, I want to talk to you guys about what to expect out of life. And by life, I mean learning in fucked up environments. Because that is something we really never know what to expect. And I know a lot of times people say when you have expectations, that's when you get let down. However, I personally feel as though anybody who does not have certain expectations from themselves, you're doing yourself a disservice, because there's a saying, you stand for something or you fall for anything. And I firmly believe in that. I think it's very important, first and foremost, for you to expect the best from yourself, because how else can you grow? How else can you chart your growth? People see things, you look around and you see things that other people have, and a lot of times that's what people base their success off of. And if you're living in a certain environment where everything looks bleak around you, or people don't have certain ambitions or motivations to get certain things, or if they're getting those, their ill-gotten goods that they're getting, that's not really teaching you to have high expectations for yourself, or even the kind of company that you keep, or even the environments that you choose to stay around. So therefore, you're doing yourself a disservice before you're even really giving yourself a chance to succeed. You can't just settle. That's what I say. People are taught to have certain expectations or not to have certain expectations. Some examples of those that I can give you guys are, for example, all the women in your family might put up with abuse, whether it's mental, emotional, or physical, from their significant other in exchange for support. So therefore, you're expected to do the same. I see that happening a lot. And that's why women, I feel as though we really need to raise our standards, because sometimes where it's ingrained in us to accept certain things, certain behaviors, because we were told growing up, that's just how men are. A man's going to do what he's going to do as long as he comes home to you at night. But how does that end up leaving you at the end of the day? You're going to bed. You're basically giving all of your energy to somebody who is giving your energy and their energy to somebody else. Somebody who's not satisfying your needs and your wants, and slowly that's depleting you from the inside out. So although you may have been trained, to have the expectation of men to do that, that does not mean that if you know that that's not what you feel comfortable with for yourself, if you know that you can't sleep good at night with those expectations, if you know that abuse, that's something that you don't want to raise your children around in that kind of environment, then it's up to you to decide to raise your expectations for yourself first and foremost, because you have to love yourself first. You have to love yourself most enough to know when a situation is not satisfactory for you and to know when to walk away. That's for somebody, because I'm seeing a whole thing playing out, honey. I hope you get it together, girl. Okay? But just because the women in your family, just because they settled and they allowed that kind of treatment because they were like, well, at least I have a roof over my head. At least I have some place to stay. At least I don't have to work. If you know that's not going to work for you, you can change that. Also, too, for males, a good example is, let's just say all the men in your family bang. Let's just say you come from a long line of gangbangers, right? Some people come from a long line of veterans, lawyers, and doctors. Some people come from a long line of gangbangers and pimps, right? But just because all the men in your family were pimps and players, or they all used to bang, you're expected to do so as well to carry on this tradition, right? You come from a long line of Crips. You can change that. I know certain situations are harder for others, and I understand that. However, there is always a way out. Where there is a will, there is a way. And the thing for us to do, the thing for us to learn in life, in living in fucked up environments, for a lot of us, we are put into these environments this lifetime for our own soul's growth, because there is something that we did not achieve in our prior lifetime. And I know some of you guys don't believe in past lives and stuff, and that is your personal choice. But for those of you who do, I'm talking to you, right? In order for your soul growth, you have to learn certain things in those fucked up environments. Instead of becoming a product of that environment, it is for you to be above the influence. It is for you to learn these lessons. And a lot of times, ladies and gentlemen, we don't have to learn these lessons ourselves. Sometimes you can learn vicariously through other people, the same way a lot of people choose to live vicariously through people, which means that you can watch somebody else going down the wrong path and fucking up their life by doing certain steps, by doing the same thing they saw their uncles, brothers, and cousins doing, right? By settling for the same kind of men they saw their mama and their auntie doing. And you could be like, nope, that's not for me. That's not what I want to do. And therefore, you can start planning what you would do otherwise, so that you do not end up in that situation, or how you can successfully avoid it, because you should have enough experience knowing how. You grew up around this shit. Stop using that as an excuse to settle, because then your soul is unsettled. And that's why we have so many people around here that have addictions, unnecessary addictions, because they're eating their emotions, they're drinking their emotions, they're smoking their emotions, and they're not fulfilling their soul's true purpose and their life's true purpose. And they're going to have to come back and do it again. And we already see the state and the condition that the world is in now. So just imagine how it's going to be in the future if people don't change and live for their highest good. Just think about that. That's why it's time for us to change. The reckoning is upon us, y'all. I mean, damn. One of the hardest things to do sometimes is to live up to your own expectations, much less everybody else's. Because a lot of times, I can't speak for everybody, but I know me, I'm a realist and I'm also a dreamer. I have big dreams for myself. And if you don't have dreams for yourself, then you just end up going in a loop, just doing the same thing over and over again. You're a bot, basically, because you have nothing to look forward to. You have no goals to aspire to. And a lot of times people set expectations for themselves, but they set unreal expectations, because they're not looking at where they are and the process it takes to get to where they want to be. Instead, they're looking at people who are where they want to be. And they feel as though they can jump from A to Z to get there also. And what you have to understand is everybody's life's path is not the same. Everybody does not have the same path. Just because one person might wake up one day and they're a fucking superstar, and you know you want to be a superstar, you may have to put more work into it, because there may be steps that you have to learn along the way. So it's not saying that your expectations are too high, but it's sometimes people want that instant gratification for their expectations. So once they realize the work that actually goes into achieving what it is they want, they feel as though they set expectations too high for themselves. And then they end up depressed and disappointed just because they're not willing to do the work. Anything that you dream, anything that your heart, your mind desires that you want to do is put there in your mind as a thought for a reason. And it is for you to learn in life, learn in living in fucked up environments on how to achieve those obstacles, just like those video games that you play. In order to go to the next level, you have to learn certain things, achieve certain goals, unlock certain gifts and stuff. It is the same thing with life. That's how you learn in the fucked up environment. That is how you play the game of life, ladies and gentlemen. Sometimes the environment that you are in may challenge the dreams, goals, and expectations you have for yourself, and may make you want to go a less moral route to achieve those goals. You want to be a star, but you don't really have any acting talent, so you decide you're just going to go suck dick on camera instead and become a porn star that way. And then 10 years down the line, you don't want to be a porn star anymore. If sucking dick is not what you truly want to do in your heart, is your passion, if when you was a child, you wasn't like, you know what, I want to grow up and suck dick for a living on camera and get paid lots of money. If that was not your dream, then don't go that route, because that does not align with your morals. I know that was a crazy ass example, but y'all feel me, right? Sometimes you got to get a little crazy, because this life is crazy. Okay? All right? Just because you want to be rich, you want to have businesses everywhere, you may want to do it the legal route so you can cover your ass, so that you're always backed up in the things that you're trying to do. Yes, it may take longer, It may take longer. Yeah, you might have to go through a true, legitimate financial institution. You might have to get you some investors for your business instead of doing PPP fraud or some shit. But you know what? At the end of the day, when the IRS sit their ass down and really go through that shit, they're going to see that you legit. You feel me? These are just examples, guys. These are just examples for you guys. Because I know there's a lot of people out there doing crazy things in order to achieve their dreams and their goals. And something that I learned is anything that comes too fast, it goes fast. You have to enjoy the process of life. You have to enjoy the different steps and phases of learning in these various fucked up environments that you're in, because the pearls of wisdom that you get along the way, they will help you to be even more successful and better. Just do things with integrity and you'll get blessed. It may take longer than what you want, but that just means that there's more for you to learn. Because when you do get there to where you want to be the best you can be, right? Right. The thing about living also in certain environments and overcoming life challenges is not to become a product of your environment. And that is so hard to do. But instead, learn from the hardships, pain, and struggles that life has dealt you thus far. And find a way to overcome those challenges in a way that will not only break toxic cycles and generational curses, but also elevate your mind and status by thinking outside of the box. A lot of people are afraid to be different. A lot of people are afraid to think outside the box. If it's not the status quo, that's not what they want to do. But yet, and still they don't realize, most of these people don't know what the fuck they're doing anyway. They don't. It's up to you to take initiative to break those toxic cycles. It's up to you to say no. It's up to you to say, this is not what I want to do. This is not the way that I want my life to go. This is what I want in the long run. A lot of times people, we only can see as far as our hand can stretch in front of us. And sometimes that really, really does us a disservice, because when you're not thinking long term with your actions and your intentions, it can sabotage those things before it even starts. And it can make even more toxic cycles in your life and even more generational curses in your life, right? Learn from those hardships, learn from that struggle, make it make you better and not bitter, as I say all the time, because so many people get caught up in life in these fucked up environments and the things that happen, not realizing that the things that happen to us, whether they are good or bad, especially when they are bad, they're not God saying, fuck you. They're a test. God never gives you more than you can handle. It's a test of your will and your character to say, okay, well, if I could go through this shit and I can still come out thriving, then I know when I get to where I'm going to be, I know I got this shit. So that way you won't have fear make you freeze an important time in life when it's time for you to make important decisions on which way to go. The moral way or the immoral way. Instant gratification or long-term success and gratification that nobody can take from you because you earned that shit. You have to learn in these fucked up environments, guys. That's what I've been doing. I've been learning. You have to heal. That's what I've been doing. I've been healing. It makes you a better person. It takes away the stress. Look at me. I'm just saying, guys, this is from, you look like this when you learn from life stresses. You learn in your fucked up environments. And instead of you making it make you bitter, you choose to make it make you better. And each one teach one. Okay? It's very important for you to be okay with living outside of the box if you know that what you want to do based off of what you have learned in your environments and what you have achieved is for your greatest good. Sometimes the point of us living life, learning in fucked up environments, is to actually learn how to do the opposite of that, of what it is that we saw in those fucked up environments, what we experienced, what we felt, what we learned, is for us to do the opposite, to be strong enough to do the opposite, to be above the influence, right? Not to become institutionalized, not to be willing to trauma bond with people in environments because that's going to hold you back, and to tap into our gifts, which are all unique to ourselves. You see what I'm saying? People always looking at other people and what they have and coveting and envying the things that people have, not knowing what they took to get there, what they sacrificed to get there, whether it was their family, their happiness, or hell, even their soul. Don't envy other people and their gifts. Instead, ask yourself, well, what am I good at? What can I do? How can I learn in this environment? What can I make beautiful out of this pain that I've endured in this fucked up environment? Turn that into art. Turn that into creativity. Turn it into words. That may be your gift to take you out of that fucked up environment. And instead of trying to see that, people are so focused on hating on other people, worrying about what everybody else got going on. Mind your business. Mind your business, okay? All right? There are certain things our souls have to learn each lifetime. And the sooner you learn these things, these lessons, the sooner you change your environment, because it all starts within. I don't give a fuck what nobody say. Somebody could be incarcerated for 35 years and be the happiest and most at peace with themselves than they were for them 10, 15 years that they were on the outside, because they've learned to find peace and happiness within themselves. And unfortunately, that confinement forced them to go within and to find their unique talents and gifts and their peace. It shouldn't have to take all of that for everybody, but I'm just saying it starts from within and with your perception, because a positive mindset combined with positive actions and intentions creates a positive life and spiritual and material abundance. And so it is. It might not come as fast as you want it, but that's where faith comes in. Trusting God or your higher source. Trusting yourself, and know that each day, just one tiny step towards what it is that you want to do, to being a better person, to learning in your environment, it adds up. When you're looking at it on a daily basis, you're not going to see the progress and stuff. But if you just do your best, take a step each day, and then you look back a year from now, you'll be surprised at where you are from where you were. Learn in your environments. Take everything with grace. And no matter what it is that you're going through, no matter what you learn in your fucked up environment, never let it harden your heart, because love is the greatest power. And once you stop loving, especially once you stop loving yourself, it's a wrap. You have to start all over and try again. Who wants to do that? I hope you guys gained the knowledge and the message that I was trying to put out in this. I love you all. Thank you for watching this. I hope that you subscribe to me. I hope that you follow me. I have a lot of healing wisdom. And also too, along your journey, I have crystals for you that can aid you to help you find balance, help you to tap into your unique creativity and your gifts. I have oils, butters, everything that you need for your spiritual journey on Etsy at Empress Oracle Shop. I would love if you check me out. Have a wonderful day, and I'll see you all later. I love you.